This is one of the best videos I've watched in a while. Superman 2025 explained by a Zack Snyder fan. I'm not sure if this is supposed to just be to bash the new movie or if we're going to have some actual enlightenment. Either way, you can find a link to this video in the description. Let's check it out.
The movie begins saying 300 years ago, gods and monsters started appearing, and only 3
Yes, it
years ago,
does.
Superman started being active. So what happened to Earth the last 297 years? Were they just cooked the whole way through? And our first impression for this Superman is that he took
I've wondered that too. I've been like, so wait a second. There have been metahumans for like 300 years. Where's all the kings and princes and rulers? You know what I'm saying? Like, how have they gotten this far without somebody really powerful being like, no, I'm in charge. Y'all just have to obey.
an L for the first time as he calls for his dog to carry his immobile as he struggles to move. I'm guessing James Gunn, the director, wanted to create a vulnerable Superman so that he can be seen as more human and the fights can be more unpredictable.
Yes, it's quite clear and everybody knows. He made him weaker because one of the biggest, not weaker, but one of the biggest complaints about Superman is that he's too powerful. So he showed from the get-go, he's not just some god that's going to come back to life and everything's going to be fine, okay? He actually has some limits.
It's boring if we always know who's going to win. Then we're introduced.
Whether you like that or not, put it in the comments. I'm not sure. In some ways, I love a powered-down Superman fan. I'm a Golden Age guy. I love powered-down Superman. But at the same time, Golden Age is only powered down to the like celestial type. It's not like he wasn't powerful. He was very powerful in the Golden Age.
The space maids. Bro has a group of AI slaves that will do whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants, eh?
Now his parents left a
No, he's got a harem for that.
message speaking Japanese, which means fluent in gibberish. And although half the message was lost and damaged, the first half of the message is, "We love you."
I thought the Kryptonese sounded good. I thought it sounded really cool. Kalalayil. Kalalayil. Remember that? Kalalayil. Anyway.
You and do good on Earth.
Yes, Space Daddy.
Then space maids put sunlight on his to heal his injuries. And bro's like,
Man, you can't take some vitamin D?
then bro acts performative when he's all healed.
Hey, Henry Cavill screamed a lot, okay? He screams a lot too. I didn't have any problem. The only screaming I had a problem with in that movie was the very last speech. That was about it. All the other screaming I felt was very appropriate. Is that it? Is there one more? I might come up with another one.
Up and heads back to the city to get his beat again. Then there's this stalker that tries to find where Superman lives, and once she finds it, the slave reports back to her boss, Lex Luthor, a billionaire who's obsessed with Superman. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this flying scene in particular, bro looking kinda fruity when he flies.
Yes.
Meanwhile, back in the
What? Okay, sometimes complaints are legitimate. And sometimes you're already on a roll, so you just keep the fighting. That's one of those examples. Like, I never saw any problem with that scene whatsoever. This, I thought, looked terrible. I thought this was the worst CGI I'd ever seen until I discovered that's not CGI. The reason it looks odd to me, I think, is because they're using LED volumes instead of green screen. So the part that I thought looked the worst was actually real.
city, some metahuman robot just starts cooking some civilians up.
Yes,
and
it
it's
does.
funny how this guy's just like, go, go, while just standing there and staying still.
Yeah, like he's gonna protect them all. I'll put my big bushy hair in the way. That'll catch fire and y'all will be
Wait,
fine.
did this lady just sit back down? What the hell? I bet she
Man, he's examining this in ways I've never. I mean, some people would do that in shock. You know, I've been in shock before. You just kind of act like nothing's wrong sometimes when you're in shock.
She's
you
like,
know?
You know what? Do I really want to slave away a 9 to 5 forever when I could just die right now?
And this
Yeah,
Charlie
you know?
D'Amelio wannabe TikToker is Lex Luthor's girlfriend. As it turns out, it's Luthor that's controlling the metahuman bot. Wow, bro really hired a team of nerds to beat Superman's and of course the
Asian the tech nerd.
Anyway, Superman gets his ass beat.
I shouldn't say it. It's okay to say, but it's the climate. It's the okay.
Again. Superman, why did you redeem it?
I'm kidding.
I was gonna say that guy. I'm gonna cut a bunch of that out.
In China. Pish.
Damn, you weak as hell. Zack Snyder would have made you stronger. So Luthor's team celebrates because Baldy, a certified hater, while Superman works a 9 to 5 as a journalist for the Daily Planet.
You know, if James Gunn wanted to make Superman more relatable, he should have added scenes where Superman's like tempted to like rob a bank because he can't pay his rent.
By the way, when a girl says she likes nerds, she means this, a hot, tall dude with glasses. You show her a real nerd and she'll go, nah, that's an incel, that's not a nerd. Then we meet this NPC, and call me crazy, but nearly every single scene she's in this movie, she's shaking her milkers like it's on purpose.
And you might not believe
It probably is. It's Cat Grant. I mean, that's what Cat Grant is. Cat Grant is the sexy office worker, you know, like she's more into that stuff than anybody else. She's very aware of her looks.
Believe me now, but there's a scene near the end that you'll see clearly where it's just deliberate.
Then we meet Walmart Jeremy Allen and Lois Lane.
Oh
I
my
know what
gosh,
scene he's talking about.
hey, he looks like that midget from The Bear.
Meanwhile, Luthor flexes his army of slaves to a group of people and calls them Planet Watch.
Yay!
Then the Baldy tries convincing a group of people
Okay, if he can say that, then I should be able to say the stuff I bleeped out.
to hate Superman and bring him in for questioning, so bro has a full-on gossip sesh because a man in tights live rent-free in his head. And when Lois gets home, Superman is making food for her. Why?
Cause they be clapping.
And Lois also knows Clark is Superman as they practically go crazy against the kitchen top. Now both actors are married off camera, so when it was revealed that they made out for 4 hours on set, and there's a viral clip of the actress that kept on kissing even after the director said cut.
What do you guys think about that? First of all, the 4 hours business, I don't even believe it. I think that's just stuff that they do on TV shows and they lie about to kind of get hype going and get people talking. This, where she's kissing after he says cut, actors stay in character. As a matter of fact, Christopher Reeve got mad at Margot Kidder. She said this because she wouldn't stay in character. They'd yell cut and she'd start like flicking his cod piece, making jokes. And she said he yelled at her and said, "Don't you ever stay in character," you know? So some of these actors, they stay in character. It's what they do. It's why he went through body transformations just to do the role, because it transcends just the screen right there. So it doesn't really bother me. Now, would I do that? No. I probably wouldn't kiss a woman if I was, an actor, because my wife, I don't want any problems there. You know what I'm saying?
She kept going?
Bro,
But his wife is an actress.
that was my wife and she did that. She's not my wife anymore. She's not my anything. Get out my house. I'm kidding.
I swear, actors found a loophole to get away with cheating by saying, "No, it's my work. I'm just really dedicated to my job." So Lois interviews her mans but plays devil's advocate and rage baits him. And Superman's like, "I stopped a war with 0 casualties and people were gonna die." And she's like,
You illegally entered another country, intimidated.
I thought as a former reporter, okay, I have a degree in broadcast journalism, radio, television, whatever you want to call it. And that's the way you're taught to do. It doesn't matter what side you're on or what side they're on. You got to ask all the rounding questions. Now, does any reporter actually do that? No, which is one of the reasons I got out of it.
And threatened the leader that's our ally, so you're a terrible person.
"Now see, you're trying to trigger me.
Ooh.
Do you think
That was really legit. I got to see
So
that
you're
again.
a terrible person.
Now see, you're trying to trigger me."
Oh, guys, this guy's hilarious. Don't forget to check out his channel in the description, because I have a link straight to it where you can subscribe and everything. You can also subscribe to me because I laugh at other people's videos pretty well. I also got some videos coming out this week that are not reaction videos. Stick around for those.
Ooh.
Do you think I'm evil?
Wearing red underwear as your costume is pretty sus.
People were going to die!
Why are you so emotional? Henry Cavill would never.
Alright, I'm out.
Yeah, Henry Cavill yelled a lot. He also let people die, so that's probably what he means. When he says Henry Cavill would never let people live.
Knew this would never work.
I love Henry Cavill Superman, guys. I just hate parts of it.
What does that mean?
I should have dated Batman, not a brokey.
Well, Batman don't go for girls pushing
brokey.
40.
She's like, I was mean to him the whole interview. How dare he say that?
Anyway, Luthor finds Superman's secret goon cave, then gets rid of the space maids. Yo, watch the scene specifically. That was so unnecessary and performative. Like, how about you just turn around instead of doing all that?
Okay. I will say that was a weird thing to do. It served no purpose except for one thing. She is used later in the movie, spoilers, to off Superman. And you're like, how could this thing be powerful enough to do that? Except that you saw her grow her face through her butt to turn around. So you know she's got some power. That right there, when I saw that, I remembered thinking, I have no idea what this lady can do. That is crazy.
So the space maids get wrecked and Krypto the super...
Comment if you felt anything from that scene besides just that was weird. Because when I saw it, my thoughts weren't that was weird. It was, what else can she do? That's literally what I was
The
thinking.
dog gets captured. Look at her face. She's like,
I thought we were gonna take pretty selfies together.
Then Luthor's goons end up restoring the second half of the message that was lost from Superman's parents, while at the same time Luthor orders his slaves to release a monster to distract Superman. Then the little monster grows enormous, and despite being super enormous, somehow managed to not destroy a single building or anything while it grew to that size, but only...
I thought of this the very first moment I saw him in that area, just big enough for him to move around without breaking everything he touches. I was like, wait, but did he just Did he just now get really big? Like, did he just get to 7 foot tall and he just circled around there and terrorized people until I don't know what happened
started
there.
to destroy now. Interesting. And this fight pretty much just shows how good of a guy.
But remember, this movie is more comic book. So when you make fun of the more comic book thing, it's like, it's comic book. That's the way comic books are. I've got a bunch of them. I can prove it. But Man of Steel is supposed to be more realistic. So you can be harder on Man of Steel for those kind of things because it's like you literally said you were going to be more like it was in the real world, you know?
Superman is like he saves a dog, then asks civilians if they're okay.
I'm fine, Daddy.
And bro starts smiling because he's relieved.
And he
That's one of the moments in the movie when I realized, oh, okay, guys, I think we're going to be okay here. Because one of the things that Snyder's didn't do well was get the character of Superman right. He understood what he represents. He had all the Messiah symbolism. He had the hope in his chest. He had, you know, like, he had a lot of things that made it clear that he knew what he was. He just didn't know how to represent it. Because when he showed him fighting and he showed him doing things, it was like he never cared about people. He never had a saving montage. He never said to himself, I need to save these people. He just said, well, Zod's coming. I better turn myself in. You know what I mean? It was never really about the people. I don't know. It was just, I don't know.
even saves the Asian lady. Oh, that's the plus 15 social credit.
You heard of
This
the
guy.
Oxford study? Alright.
If you want Panda Express, let me know, okay?
Then we meet the Justice Gang, which consists
I think I want some Panda Express. Put in the comments if you want Panda Express. Just put pandas.
of Bowcut, Dora, and Face Mask, who all got powers and they try to take down the monster while Superman saves a little girl, which is cool and all. But if you look closely, this scene is hilarious. There's a giant
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Why are all these people running and the little girl's just like, la-di-da, I'm just gonna go to school today. Like, what is happening in that
monster.
scene?
The city's going crazy and this girl's just casually walking on the street looking at the ground. Really?
I'd hate to be that guy, but if your survival instincts are that bad, should you really keep living?
Right? Are you the one that needs to reproduce? I'm just saying, are you the one? Because it sounds like if you make any more of you, y'all aren't gonna last long anyway. You know?
Superman's such a kind, sweet soul. Bro literally saves a squirrel. Yes, a squirrel. Anyway, Face Mask
I need to know what y'all think about the squirrel, too. I thought it was just another thing. This fight is my favorite scene in the movie because of the character of Superman is shown so well, and that was part of it. I was like, okay, yep, you know what? I don't know, maybe it's aura farming, but it was like, yeah, he cares about life. He cares about all of it.
kills the monster while Superman makes sure there's no casualties. Man, look at how wholesome he is. The moment he sees a kid, he immediately starts smiling like a
I thought that was really cool, guys. I love that he was so just like friendly with everybody, and though he was really powerful, he wasn't somebody that was just going to be like Guy Gardner or something like, okay, worship us. We did a good job.
Boy.
But suddenly, news break revealing the second half of the message from Superman's parents, and they pretty much tell him to conquer the Earth and have multiple wives. And what's funny about this message is everyone's in shock, losing their minds, like, how can aliens that's not from Earth not have the same progressive views we have?
They want to sit and act like, conquer and have multiple wives, but that's crazy.
Well, but he'd been doing good for them for 3 years. That's why they were angry, because they were like, this was all just a ruse to get us to trust you and to like you. I mean, this one, I don't know. This is not really a point that, although I don't like that he did that with the parents, you could argue that. Like, why did he make them evil? I don't know. You know, I mean, maybe because he was trying to remove himself from the Messiah symbolism. If you don't have him being sent for the reasons he thought he was being sent for, it kind of takes that Messiah aspect away a little bit, which he could have been trying to do.
Humans have never done
Because Snyder delved into that.
that before.
I mean, if you read a history book, humans have been doing that from kings to rulers like Genghis Khan, so I don't know why they're all shocked that aliens that have never been on Earth have some outdated morals. But yeah, the public pretty much switches up on Superman with Luthor leading it, calling him a groomer. Then we see this woman crying, and I'm just like,
Yeah, but we see this in the news all the time. People that people like, suddenly they say something or they do something and then they hate them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it happens all the time.
bruh, if you can't even think for yourself and
That guy, though, I don't know. Maybe he hated him all along and he's like, finally, people believe me.
you let the news instantly emotionally affect you all the time, man, I don't know what to tell you.
I think they should have made the guy that threw the can be shocked that it didn't work. Like, "Ah!" and then go, You know, like, oh, that didn't help at all. Why did I throw that?
Kind of an NPC. Then Bowl-Cut decides to confront him, and it's like, what are you gonna do, sing Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles? Meanwhile, Baravian leader says Superman only stopped the war because he wants the less developed country enslaved and wants the Baravian woman for himself, when in reality, the leader is working with Luthor to take
I love the way that guy stumbles around. His character was so perfect. Like, he just seemed like the kind of guy that could wiggle his way into an authoritative position in the government and kind of, you know, be along with people that are really powerful and be needed, but not really be the one to be on top. Like, that just seems like what he is.
And conquer Jarampar, or whatever the made-up country's called. So the man in tights finds out his Guna cave is destroyed and gets sad his maid bots can't serve him anymore, and finding out his dog is missing, Bro goes and confronts Luthor.
Where's the dog?
What dog?
Where's the dog?
I don't know what dog you're talking about. Ugly dog.
You heard him. He took it.
I don't care how much you love James Gunn and are a James Gunn goon. This guy is funny, okay? He's funny.
And because Superman crashes out, the media uses it against him to say that's who he truly is. So to find his dog, Bro turns himself in and gets taken to some portal that leads to Luthor's secret pocket universe. And it's a trap because Luthor puts Clark with a dude that can change his body to any known elemental substance. And in this case...
Okay, when he whistles, is he dog whistling? Like, is he dog whistling? Can nobody hear it? Nobody ever reacts to his whistle. Because we could hear it really well and still can, and it hurts our ears. I've watched a lot of reactions of this movie, and people are constantly like, in their headphones. I think it's a dog whistle because nobody reacts to it. And if everybody knew that except for me, then I guess you could just tell me why I'm dumb in the comments.
Kryptonite, which is his only weakness. As Walmart Jeremy Allen finds out from Luthor's current girlfriend that Superman's stuck in a pocket universe, so Lois pulls up to the Justice Gang to get help to rescue her mans. And Luthor is such a...
This is why you shouldn't worry about any of the things you said before about how, like, the people weren't shocked or they just angry, you know, and were surprised that somebody would want to do that, you know, with the harem and different things like that, because she's like, oh, a pocket universe. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, it's a comic book movie. You know, they're not worried about that realistic stuff.
Hater, Bro hired monkeys to type hate comments on
Case in point.
Superman.
Grown man obsessed over another man and just constantly thinking about another dude. That's kind of gay.
Anyway. Clark finds his dog while getting tortured by a dude who can make kryptonite because Luthor's using that dude's son as a hostage. While at the same time, Luthor's girl cheats on him with Mr. Walmart, but Bro only wants info and dirt on Luthor and couldn't
I'm digging the Jimmy Olsen names. Mr. Walmart.
care less about her, and when she catches on, he's like, no, I want dirt on Luthor so we can be together. So she's like, okay, daddy, call me. Man, why are you lying? And girl, why are you cheating?
Can we
Because he loves to be a reporter. He wants to be a reporter. That's
not
why.
normalize this behavior in modern movies? Because dating in 2025 is already cooked as it is.
And when Face Mask finds Superman's whereabouts,
Actually don't know. I've been married for 17 years. I have no idea how dating is.
Bowl-Cut and Dora's like, yeah, I ain't rescuing shit.
Swiper, no swipey. You pushing 60 trying to look like the Beatles.
My mom thinks I'm cute. But Face Mask decides to go with Lois to rescue Clark while Luthor pulls up with the Baravian leader to kill Superman's favorite kebab owner. Please, his kebabs are really good. I have one question. Will you go on a date with me? I can't. I'll keep...
This guy is killing me, man. This is one of the best videos I've watched in a while. Like, this is one of the best videos I've watched in a while. I cannot... This guy's awesome!
killing till I get a date. I should have known he was in love with me. And by
Though I think I like Superman more than he does. I think he's not a fan of this
the
movie.
time Face Mask and Lois enter the pocket universe, this chopped mutant has a change of heart and creates an artificial sun to heal Superman so Bro can reunite
It's not a son. He made it clear it's not a son.
the chopped mutant with his chopped son. And when Superman reunites with Krypto and gets his dog back, the Force successfully escapes out the portal before it closes.
Hey, you can't die on me yet. We gotta make love for another 4 hours.
And Lois takes Bro to his parents.
I'm telling you, this guy is killing me. He's just one after another. He does not quit.
That's the sound my mom makes when I asked if I could have a sleepover growing up.
You taking selfies? Does this look like Coachella? Get the out. So this is the part Luthor's girl feels wrong, so she sends Walmart Jeremy Allen what will ruin Luthor to get back at him, but it's like, girl, did you not wrong him first by texting dudes behind his back? And she just sends a bunch of selfies. And after Lois brings Clark to his parents, she studies the selfies given by Walmart and discovers she can use it as evidence against Luthor in his involvement with Bravia. Meanwhile, Luthor throws a hissy fit and crashes out because he desperately wants to see Superman and creates a rift that will split the world in half just to get Superman's attention and find him.
Oh, he crazy. And he gay.
And the next day, Superman's all like, my
What is with the gay talk with this guy?
life's a lie. I'm not who I thought I was. I'm a fraud. But his Earth Daddy's like, it's not what your parents say that makes you who you are, but it's your actions that define you. Thanks, Earth Daddy. Then seeing Bravia about to invade Jarhampur on the news, Clark's in a dilemma because he hears from Face Mask the world is gonna split in two and needs help right away. Hey, yo, is that bro's wife? You have an interesting taste in men, madam. Anyway, Lois connects the dots and
He can change into anything.
figures out Luthor is helping Bravia so he can take half.
I loved that Perry White, guys. I thought he was really good. I never cared for Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White. He seemed to me like Perry White after a heart attack. Like he was pretty calm. He wasn't, I didn't really prefer him. This Perry White isn't quite where I need him to be energy-wise, but he was pretty good. I really love the cigar too. That was never on fire. Lit, never lit.
Of Jarhampur's territory once it's conquered, and they figured it out all thanks to selfies. Then the staff board a ship for safety in case the Earth does split in half. Yo, is it just me, but when I see these buildings torn in two, I be thinking, man, how much is all of this gonna cost to fix? Like,
And when at the end, when he puts the buildings back and they're off by just a little bit, I'm like, how you gonna get all those pipes together? Like they're off. You know what I mean? Like you got to go drill in the ground and put an elbow in there. Like it's crazy how much it would
by
cost.
Luthor causing all of this, like a coward, bro flies away from accountability. You know what's funny? When Superman pulls up, he saves a woman from getting splattered by a building, but then she just drives off, looks back, and doesn't even say thank you. And this is
That's what it was. That's what she was doing.
getting splattered by a building, but then she just drives off, looks back, and does.
That is thank you. That is I got to get out of here, but thanks, dude. Thank you. That's what that is.
Doesn't even say thank you. And this is why I could never be Superman. Because if I stopped a literal building from falling on someone and they don't even say thank you, let alone show any sort of appreciation, bro, I'm chucking the building right back at him. Anyway, Luthor's
Okay, that was funny, but she did say thank you with a look in her eyes.
goons give Clark and Face Mask a big hug, which puts Face Mask thrown to sleep. And this sequence was crazy. Clark be using a gooner as a weapon, but gets hit, thrown into the sky, and this weirdo just kicks
I don't think he ever actually. This is hilarious to stop on. Let's see if I can stop it a little better.
him.
It's hilarious to me that he used her as a weapon, but he never actually threw a punch, as far as I could tell. He never threw a punch at the engineer. They took out whenever he kicked, or whenever Krypto got kicked, because the audience didn't like it. I wonder if he ever even had a woman getting punched in here. I don't know.
in the nuts. Rest in peace to your future kids. But then using some black thingy, it makes bro
Well, he is his clone, so he can take care
able
of
to
that.
breathe, and Lex just be looking like, yes, yes. Yo, Nicholas Hoult did a great job as the villain. Look at this level of pure, unadulterated hate.
Yeah, I hated him. It's one of the reasons I'm a little worried about Man of Tomorrow being so Lex focused. I'm like, I didn't want to see more of him. Like, I hated him. It's like when Americans, I think I've said this in a video before, first saw the first season of the American version of The Office. Okay? I had so many friends that didn't want to watch the season 2 because they were like, I hate Michael. The main character's horrible. I hate it. Americans just, that's the way we're trained. You know, we're trained it's all happily ever after and all that kind of stuff.
And it turns out he initially auditioned for Superman, so James Gunn making him bold and a villain who despises Superman is actually pretty genius. And cause bro can't breathe, he heads to space, but the goon's like, let me give you a back hug, Opa, and they start cuddling and spooning in space. Then Clark heads back down and gives one of them a good night.
The biggest trouble I had with that was that he had no air in his lungs. Maybe it was still filling. I don't know, but there's only so long you can go without just passing out. You know what I mean? She was covering the sun, so he couldn't get power that way. He had air in he had the thing in his lungs. It was an awfully long time to do that with him not ever passing out. You know what I'm saying?
I kiss and puts him asleep and broken.
But again, because she grew her head out of her butt, I believed this to be something she could do.
Finally breathe again. Not gonna lie, this plot twist was interesting, that one of the goons is actually a clone of Clark. Yo,
Now I believe you know nothing about Superman. This plot twist was interesting. Do you not know who Ultraman is? He's just another version of Superman in every rendition. A plot twist would have been if he was Batman. That would have been a plot twist. We would have been like, whoa, that's crazy, because Ultraman's usually just Superman. I want to hear what
Lex
he
might be
next.
way too strong because he says all he needed was a strand of Superman's hair to make a clone. So if Lex decides to make 10 clones, which he can, Clark is cooked. So using his army of tech super nerds, they control the clone like it's a video game to beat Clark's. And just when Jahanpur thinks they're cooked, as this kid literally prays to Superman, bowl-cut and chopped mutant turns up and stops the Barabian military, while Dora be like,
Hola, soy Dora.
Oh, this guy is killing me. Did you like Hot Girl? A lot of people were rather disappointed with what little Hot Girl we got, or really they were even just disappointed with what she was in the movie. Personally, I just thought she was a good side character. There wasn't much to her. There wasn't much. It was just like, boom, that's what a side character is. You know, we didn't go delving into her history, which I didn't think we should have. But I don't know. Put your in the comments. Let me know what you think.
Dora, you won't kill me.
Can you find a dead body? Dora.
And as the journalists publish a piece exposing Luthor, Clark's like, just say you're jealous, bro. Of course I am. And Luthor does a pretty good speech how envy is his calling to defeat him, and that the reason he hates Superman is because Superman's strength shows how weak humans really are.
So in short, bro hates him because he has hair. I'm kidding.
And when it looks like Clark's about to lose and as he continues to get beat, bro calls for his dog. So in James Gunn's Superman, bro needs his dog to win a fight as the dog eats the cameras so the super nerds can't control the clone, allowing Clark to...
I wouldn't say he needed his dog to win the fight. It's not like the dog beat Ultraman, but he wasn't just fighting Ultraman. He was fighting Ultraman himself and Lex Luthor. So what the dog did was he took out the other opponent out of the equation, okay? Because Lex can match him brain for brain, and Ultraman can match him muscle for muscle. So the dog came in, you all know this.
beat him. And this goes back to the idea that James Gunn's Superman isn't invincible, more vulnerable, and much more human-like compared to the Henry Cavill version. And the fight scenes in this film are pretty creative as bro literally dislocates his arm to get his clone get yeeted by a bus and to be sucked into a black hole.
Yeet.
And Face Masks were like,
Quit messing around.
Quit messing around. Weren't you the one sleeping the whole time when Superman was fighting and you gonna tell him quit messing around? Huh?
A better point could not be made.
hey man, this you? This you, right? Quit messing around! Now, the
That's
Earth
him.
keeps splitting, and as Bodhi tries getting away, Superman confronts him while Face Mask undoes the split.
I won your hairline.
And that is why you need to go to Turkey! Then he does a speech about how he's human, he gets scared, he loves, and makes mistakes, but that's part of being human, and that's his greatest strength.
And when I was watching the scene in the theaters, I remember I was just smiling the whole time throughout his speech because I really think this is what DC has been missing.
Don't get me wrong, I love Man of Steel. I think Henry Cavill's Superman is obviously a lot cooler because bro aura farms and is mewing for 2 hours straight, and there were moments I said to myself, I wish he wasn't always so serious 24/7. So to see Superman express all sorts of emotions, showing vulnerability and letting it be known he's imperfect and that's okay was very refreshing. And a lot more relatable than a Superman that's super serious 24/7 that shows little to no weakness who is close to being perfect and invincible.
I'm glad he said that because a lot of Snyder fans, he calls himself a Zack Snyder fan, don't admit the flaws in the Snyder world. I admit the flaws in both the Snyder world and the Gunn world because I don't really have an allegiance to either one of those. They're both just helping to continue the legacy of my man back here, okay? This is what I care about. I care about his legacy being continued. Every single version, Christopher Reeve included, has flaws in doing that, but that's going to happen. Nobody's perfect, you know? I mean, that's just what's going to
In
happen.
my opinion, I never saw Superman as being cool. I saw Superman as being good. So in terms of being
Yes.
good or expressing how good Superman can be, I believe James Gunn did a great job doing that. Whether
Exactly. So all throughout the 60s and 70s and stuff, there's all these different, I have pictures all over the walls here where Superman is smiling. He's this big cheesy grin smile guy and he's happy and he's good. It wasn't until later that they started trying to make him more like a Homelander type where he could just go off at any moment and they focused more on his power. He's got power, but that power shouldn't be something that we as the people fear he could just snap on us at any time, which is exactly what Zack Snyder's Superman made us think.
that's saving squirrels to smiling instantly when a kid runs up to him or saving the Asian lady We see a version of Superman that's good that you can not only to a degree relate to, but also a Superman you can see yourself rooting for. So visually, Man of Steel looks better and Henry Cavill's Superman does have more aura, but at the same time, just in terms of a personality that you can see yourself rooting for and just seeing how good Superman can be, James Gunn's Superman takes the cake from here.
Anyway, Clark does a speech, then Luthor gets
true.
manhandled.
And that's why I rated this movie at an 8.2 over a 7.8, which was, I was choosing between a 7.8 and an 8.5. I landed on 8.2 because they just nailed the character so well. They nailed the character. Everything that's messed up, I'm like, Superman is what needs to be right. You got him right. Yeah, you screwed up some things, you know. You talked about hypno glasses. Clark Kent wasn't the way he should be. Something about Lois. I'm blanking. I have a lot of complaints. But the point is, Superman, that's who we're talking about. That's who we got right. Whereas with Man of Steel, I kept it at about a 7.8 because the Superman part's what we got wrong. And then we got Clark wrong too, you know? So, and then we got Lois wrong, you know? We just got a lot of things wrong.
My bro's dog, like, the dog's biting his ass while he upside down. Then Face Mask closes the split and Luthor gets exposed for his involvement with Boravia to overthrow the country of Jarhanpur, so now the world hates him and sees him as a lying fraud. And the journalists celebrate. You see what I mean? She's doing it on purpose. Look carefully how everyone else celebrates, and then look how the girl with glasses celebrate.
So
I even saw a girl react to this video who was clearly one of these type of girls that's all about flaunting it. And even she said, when she got to that point, she said, that looks pretty on purpose. She's like, hey, I'm all for it, but she's like, that looks deliberate on purpose and not accidental. And I'm like, yeah, pretty much everybody agrees that was shot, was made to look that way, to have a funny, humorous little distraction in the midst of all this emotional, because that's what James Gunn does. There's emotional, happy, whatever, and he's got to have that comedy slipped in there.
everyone's hugging or either doing something like this to like celebrate, but then she's over here, she's doing this, and she's doing that. She's doing that, like to celebrate, like, yay, yay. Come on, bro. That's just deliberate. That's on purpose.
So Jarhanpur is free from danger, Luthor gets arrested, everyone from the Pocket Universe prison is free, while the two main characters continue to piss off their spouses by making out for another 4 hours.
The real life partner gonna be very mad.
As the film ends with the introduction of Supergirl, which will be released next year.
And as someone
Guys,
who really liked Man of Steel, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie as I look forward to more future films from James
There
Gunn.
we go.
And if
That's
you watch
really
this
what I
film,
wanted
feel
to
free
hear
to leave your
about.
comments down below.
That's what I wanted to hear. The Snyder fan can admit that he liked the James Gunn movie. A lot of people boycott this movie. They act like they hated it. Honestly, it's a good movie. Is it perfect? No, but neither is Man of Steel. But they're both good Superman movies. I really enjoyed all the making fun he did. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me watch more videos like this. Also, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like. It really helps the algorithm to, you know, put it out to other people. And there's one more thing you can do for me, and that would be to watch this video right here. I especially designed it for you.